Good evening, everyone. We are so excited tonight to bring to you this Beacon of Light podcast where we are going to discover your joy, right? Who out there needs some joy? I need some joy every day. Well, this amazing, beautiful woman, Louise Pistole, she has discovered a way to help you all find your joy. So let's get this party started. We're going to throw the video up. And off we go, if I put the right video up.
I'm April Tribe Juke. Welcome to the Beacon of Light podcast. I believe we are all made with light, and light is hope. This podcast brings authors who write stories of hope to all of you. Your journey to be inspired and amplified by these stories starts now.
All right, we have started now.
Right.
So, again, my name is April Tribe Juke, and I am broadcasting from Twin Falls, Idaho. And Louise, where are you broadcasting from this evening?
I am just south of Charlotte, North Carolina.
Excellent. So how's the weather out there? Pretty hot?
Well,
doing good?
It has been so hot. It really has. And actually, we have just had a thunderstorm come up. So hopefully the rain will cool it off. We've had very little rain this summer, so we are happy to have some rain.
So you're telling me that you've discovered a little joy just in the simplicity of some weather?
Yes, absolutely. Because I am all about being out in my yard, and I have lots of flowers and plants. And if we don't get rain, I am out there in the heat watering.
Yeah,
So I'm always joyful when I don't have to go water.
There you go. That's the angle on it. So hopefully this rain will cool down that garden, kind of settle down everything, and nothing better than a summer thunderstorm. That's great. That's fantastic. So Louise, let's talk about what it is we're going to be discovering this evening. I see the big banner behind you over there.
Yes. Yes.
So tell us a little bit about the setup of this book.
Okay. It is a daily motivational book to encourage you to seek and experience gratitude, hope, happiness, and joy. You know, we live in a world now that's broken, suffering, struggling, and so many people are suffering with anxiety, illnesses, trauma. You know, the best we can do some days is to look for moments of joy in our day. And I hope that's what my book can bring, is a short inspirational reading that will set you on the path to joy that day. And if I may, I'd like to read to you just a couple sentences that someone sent me about my book. She said, "As blessed as I am, it's a shame I need to remind myself daily to discover joy, but I do. Your book does that trick." And so even those of us that have a blessed life and we're not struggling with various things, we still need that reminder every day to choose joy that day.
Oh, beautiful. Agreed with that. Isn't it so interesting that every day we need these reminders? I think that's really fascinating that every day we need to be the reminder to be grateful, to be thankful, to be joyful.
Yes.
Because if we don't, what is constantly pecking at us? Just chronic negativity, whether it's from the outside with media, whether it's within our own mind, just hitting us, whether it's with family or friends. There's so many pieces that the negativity is just so easy to do, but you can really block and protect yourself with a daily dose of a quick read of your book. And that is really phenomenal. Thank you so much for sharing that and reading what she had to say, because herself, she was still very blessed and wasn't struggling with big things, but still needed that reminder. That's pretty interesting.
And we really do. We all do. It is easy to get caught up in negativity. It's easy to let people steal our joy. And those are the things and people that we have to look out for.
Right. We have to look out for those joy thieves, because isn't there, how did you first come about that term?
Well, actually, my minister
joy?
did. It was one Sunday morning when the title of his message was Watch for Joy Stealers. And I have used that a lot since that day, because it is so true. And it's not just people, it's distractions in our life. It's social media. There's so many things that can steal your joy.
So what's the best way to combat this idea that the negativity steals our joy? What's the best way to combat that?
Well, I think the first thing is gratitude. And I do think starting every day with gratitude and being thankful for even the smallest things help keep us above that downward spiral. But then another thing that I also think is important is to focus on positive thoughts. Find a positive thought that you can hold on to, remind yourself of it, and choose positivity every day.
That's right. The choosing of that positivity every single day, it makes a huge difference. And I think some people, they put like little cards up or have something on their fridge. So how would your book be different than anything like that?
Well, every day is an inspirational story. Every day reminds you to look for the good. It reminds you to choose gratitude, to choose hope. There's encouraging words there. There's affirmations to remind you that you are good enough. There's Bible verses and quotes. All of this is motivational to help you start your day on a positive note.
That's right. I remember, because I got the privilege to help Miss Louise with this book. And it was so fun to see the different stories that every day it felt like a new little adventure, a new prompt. And it helped me to give me good memories of things from the past that really brought things forward. So do you want to share with us the layout of what your book is like? Is it just, straight 365 days? Are there any groupings to things? Like, how does the book work?
Okay. It is divided into 12 chapters, I'll say, which are one for each month of the year. And each month has a specific topic. There's the topics of new beginnings and families and summer fun and gratitude, all the different topics that are pillars of joy. And
Ooh, I love that word, pillar of joy. I just see this light reaching out to somebody. I see strength. I see a foundation. Oh, I love that. A pillar of joy. Oh, that's awesome.
You're going to see that again before long. You are going to see that, my friend. But
exciting.
Each day starts off with an affirmation and a story and ends with a quote or a Bible verse. But each day also has a question for you to think about. If I'm talking about hope, it might be, how can you bring more hope into your life today? Every month, the topic on the first day of the month starts with a challenge for that month. Then the questions throughout that month relate back to the challenge. On the last day of the month, it all ties together and we revisit everything we have talked about that month. Then at the Following that, each month, there is a page for you to journal your thoughts about that particular topic.
Wow, I love the idea that we're going to be able to reflect back, have a challenge. I love calls to action. You know me, A is for action. I love all of that. I think the power and strength of that helps to keep us on target and not just, oh, that's a nice read. Because when we take action on something, we usually will start to change behavior. We usually will start to maybe go through the day, and as negativity builds up, we find ourselves, wait, hang on. I remember that I can go back to that. That's right. I remember the story, and that's going to help me stay positive. And I really enjoyed going through the stories with you. I felt like it was, sharing so much of your own life that we could all relate to. And in that relationship, that's where you start to put your own self within, that place and figure out, well, how could I find my own joy? What can we do here? And then going through that, you're like, oh, I've got it. And so that's really powerful.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. So let's say do you recommend starting from the beginning? What if you purchase the book now and, we're mid-July? Do you start in July? Can you start wherever you want? What do you best recommend?
Well, I'm the kind of person that would purchase a book like this, and I would literally open it up to whatever page, and I'm convinced whatever page I open it up to that day is the page I'm meant to read for that day. Now, the fact that every month has a topic, and for July, the topic is joy and happiness. Well, that might not be exactly what you want to read. Maybe you want to read more about hope and encouraging words, which is in March. And so you could go to the table of contents, find the topic that you're interested in, and read there. I will say, holidays, I do address Mother's Day and Father's Day, and obviously a lot of Thanksgiving and Christmas. So those times you may want to be on the right day. But you could certainly start reading today or tomorrow, go to July and start there. But really, it is whatever feels good to you. There's no right or wrong way to read the book.
I love that flexibility within it. And I think that's great to have the table of contents with the topics right there, because it is true. There are some times where maybe you started that month thinking, this is my month. And in 2 weeks, maybe a terrible tragedy happens and you're thinking, I need something to help me with this grief and with, maybe some different ways to look at a situation. Just recently, my sister, they have friends that were making a travel across this particular stretch of the country, and a huge dust storm came up. No one could see. Trucks stopped. They stopped. And then another truck didn't stop and ended up wiping out the entire family. And just the day before, we were talking about this challenge that she's in and all of these votes she's getting, and just such a joyful thing. And within a blink, everything changes. And, seeking for prayer and comfort and gratitude for the everyday and not taking it for granted. I think that's kind of how our lives is. So it's really great to see the flexibility within your book to really match what we need. And I really appreciate that. I think that is fantastic.
Good.
So well done.
Yeah,
well
thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. So when going back to the minister, and as he was giving this talk about joy stealers, how did you decide to come up with this book in the first place?
I had been through a divorce, and I had lost my sweet daddy. I had chronic illnesses, and I was in a stressful job, just a lot of things, just kind of daily life that we all deal with. And one Sunday morning, I was sitting there listening to my minister when he talked about watch for the joy stealers, and the scripture he used from 1 Thessalonians 5:16 was be joyful always. And that message and that verse resonated with me and made an impact on my life. That was 12 years ago now. So for the next 10 years after this message, I wrote in my journals about joy. I tried to find my own joy through the struggles I personally had. I read more, I studied more, I collected things with joy on it. And I knew that there would be a book, but I didn't know what it would be. I didn't know what it would be. And 2 years ago, I had the opportunity to retire from my career, and that was the time that I knew I was in a place to write. I still didn't really have a format. So it was a matter of I just started writing. I started writing and writing, and this is where it led me. I finally realized that I had the stories that I wanted to share, the inspiration from my journals that I wanted to share with others. And it turned into this daily motivational book.
That is fantastic. I think I love the idea of how collecting the stories allowed you to really have a daily journal, even if it, or not daily journal, sorry, a daily motivational, even if it wasn't maybe intended to be that way or start that way. The way that it's now, the ability for people to read through, accept, and look through it, I think it matches probably with the heart of the inspiration from that first time you heard about the Joy Stealers. Isn't it interesting how it all starts to just come together? What was that feeling like for you?
Well, it did come together without me really having a plan, I'll say. Like I said, I have been working a lot of long hours for a lot of years. And kind of as a side note, I did reconnect with my high school sweetheart, and we were married 2.5 years ago. He was already retired. So that was my motivation to go ahead and leave my career at the point that I did so that he and I would have more time together. But that available time took me back to my journals, and the journals led me on this journey to joy.
Wow, the journey to joy, such a great way. And when we're looking at how to discover our joy and doing it in the everyday, what is something that you recommend so that people can truly discover the joy of the day?
I think we have to take time every day to consciously make a decision to look for the positives in the day, to be grateful for our day, to share our joy with others, to spread that light that has come from our joy with others. And if this short read, I mean, we're talking 3, 4, 5 minutes. If reading that and then even pondering on it for a few minutes, perhaps saying a prayer with it, if that can set you on your way to have a good day, then that is what it was intended. But I also know not everyone is in a place to choose joy every day. And
Oh,
that's
wait, I got to stop you right there. Say that again. Say that again, that last part.
not
That's beautiful.
everybody is in a place to choose joy every day. And you think of people living in trauma, living in domestic abuse, living with chronic illnesses. These people do not feel joyful. They don't necessarily want to talk to you about feeling joyful. They are in a state of despair. And my encouragement there is for them to look for moments of joy. Find something in the day, the smallest thing that you can hold on to and say, this was good today. And maybe there wasn't something good today. Was there something yesterday, something last week? Just find a moment of joy that you can hold on to, that you can hang your hope on, and use that as your encouragement to move forward to discover your joy.
Excellent. These are great pillars that are going to be putting forward, I think, even more opportunities. Now, you mentioned at the beginning of the show about this pillar, right? This pillar of joy. Is this a new upcoming course, book? Share with us a little bit more about this. I'm pretty curious.
Okay. Yeah, I'm happy to. Is through doing some speaking, I had several people ask me to share different aspects of joy, key ingredients of joy, I'll say. And through sharing 3 ideas over here and 3 ideas over here, I realized I have about a dozen, a baker's dozen even, of key ingredients that will lead you to your joyful life. And I have termed that pillars of joy. These are the pillars, these are the foundations that will hold you up and support your joyful life.
Wow, brilliant. And I love that it's a baker's dozen. That's the best way to have it, because you got to taste what you're doing out there. So fantastic. Love the idea of the ingredients and keys for really having this recipe of a joyful day, of a joyful week, of a joyful life. And it isn't to emphasize anything false of just faking your joy. This really is to pull out, even if it is just a moment of joy, because we can all find that. It's like so many different things. Sometimes it's just rock after rock after rock after rock. Sometimes it's just pebble in your shoe. Sometimes it's you stubbing your toe on that rock, only to look down when you were just about to throw it, and the rock is shaped like a heart.
Yes.
So you think, oh, maybe I need to stop the anger that I'm having right now. Maybe I need to stop my negative pity party that just keeps going. Yes. And look and see that rock was actually a heart. I've had that experience as of late.
Well,
why this?
Actually, saying that, I have a stone terrace off my kitchen porch. And on 2 different occasions, I have walked out there and looked down and found a heart-shaped stone right outside my door. So I have obviously saved these as reminders.
And that's exactly how simple it is. That's a moment of joy that you can have actually tangible. Maybe those go in the pocket, and in our moments where we reach in, that's right. We can really find the joy that everyone wants. Patricia Gibson, she really, really enjoyed every part of this. Thank you so much, Patricia, for joining us and being a part of this evening tonight. So, Louise, with our few minutes left, if you were to tell somebody in 2 minutes how they could discover their joy, or what message would you like to leave with them this evening from the Beacon of Light podcast?
Okay, well, I come from expressing gratitude and in choosing joy every day. My mission is to encourage you to seek your own pinpoints of life or moments of joy in your life each day. And you can start by finding that one positive thought that you can hold tight to. Then remind yourself of that thought often. This positivity will help you to find your source of light in our broken world. Then take time to express gratitude every day, even for the smallest things. And I know I talk about gratitude often, but gratitude will lead you to your light. Then, as your light becomes brighter, share it with others who also need hope, encouragement, light, and love. I would like to read to you one more little comment that someone sent. And she said, "You not only inspire me to be a better person, but you also keep reminding me through your post that with joy in my heart, I can succeed in life with anything I set my mind to." Sadly, in life, we cannot cure the world of its sorrows, but we can choose to live in joy. I have also found that if you carry joy in your heart, you can heal almost any situation. Finally, your words of wisdom have inspired and taught me to let my joy be in my journey as I travel this road called life. And I so appreciated this comment and all the ways she pointed out having joy in her life. So today I say to you, step out of the vicious cycle and follow your light to seek your joy.
Beautiful. And with that, everyone, we are going to leave it there as the Beacon of Light podcast closes. Thank you so much, Louise. Where can we find your book?
It is on Amazon, and it is also on my website that you have scrolling there at louisepistole.com.
Excellent. We are so excited. Thank you for this beautiful evening. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for coming, and we will talk soon. See you,
Okay.
everybody.
Bye now.